He's a real talent. He's a live wire. He believes in himself, and he's still very, very young. Only in his early 20s. There's so much more to come. And making friends here in Wales by declaring his love for the great Joe Calzaghe, fellow southpaw, and how he'd love to put on a show tonight for the Welsh fans. He's been looking forward to it, talking about it, excited about it all week.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on IFL TV and ESPN Plus for MTK Fight Night Cardiff, presented to you by Mr. Lee Eaton in association with MTK Global and Top Rank Promotions. This fight is scheduled for 8 rounds in a super featherweight contest. Your referee at the bell, Mr. Chris Jones, and your timekeeper, Mr. Stephen Pucci. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He officially weighed in at 132.6 pounds with a professional record of 10 wins. Tonight wearing the blue and black trunks from Nicaragua by way of Girona, Spain. Please welcome Sergio Gonzalez. And introducing his opponent across the ring in the blue corner. He officially weighed in at 132.6 pounds with a professional record of 6 wins, 4 by way of knockout and no losses. Tonight he wears the white and gold trunks from Kazakhstan by way of London, England. Please welcome Sultan Sobey. Referee Chris Jones will now give his finals instructions to the boxers.
Obey my word of command at all times. Defend yourself at all times. Keep all your punches above the waist. The question's red, the question's blue. Touch gloves. Good luck, boys.
Well, a Welshman giving instructions to a Kazakh and a Nicaraguan. I feel there were never going to be any questions from either pair, but they know the language of boxing. And Barry Jones and I have been excited about Sultan Zarbek pretty much from the first moment we saw him, Barry.
Yeah, he does nothing wrong. He takes his time. You can see he's always stalking. He's always looking to get that quick early finish without, and again, like you keep saying, without rushing any of his work. So sometimes he gets caught in a little bit of a pattern. If you want to be uber critical with some of his work, but apart from that, I think he's been absolutely superb so far.
He was terrific on his ESPN Plus debut when we saw him back in April out in Dubai for a Chinese opponent. Really sturdy Chan Gong Tao was that night, but he took an absolute hammering, and eventually some highlight punches that forced the stoppage. He throws a particularly good left hand to the body, Barry. That's something we've seen early on in his career, which I think for a young boxer in his early 20s, early stages of career, it's always good to see.
Yeah, it is, especially, you know, in the amateur code of in the last sort of 8 to 10 years, body punches have almost come non-extinct. So the fact that he's looking so early in his career, I think that's a good sign for the pro game. They tried it there, a little left uppercut to the ribs. Oh, lovely right hook there from Zarbek.
Oh, just dug one in. There's that left hand we were talking about, maybe on the borderline, but he settled into a rhythm, and an aggressive one at that, right from the off.
Again with that lovely uppercut, this time to the head there of Gonzalez. What he's done here, Zarbek, is actually a lot of Kazakhs do it. Golovkin does it the best, of course, but it's all the pressure with the front foot. So what you haven't allowed Gonzalez any sort of momentum to come forward. He stamped that front foot right in front instead of his stance, put him at the pressure even before he's thrown any punches.
A couple of times he's just leaning back with his left hand a little low. Gonzalez tried to throw the right hook or the right hand, and he's landing that on gloves, and just the movement of Zarbek getting him out of trouble. But that may be one of the things you just need to tighten up, but always getting through with some heavy shots. A minute to go in the first.
So lovely, again, a lovely fast stab, but any panic in his work, not rushing it, just taking his time, picking his shots.
I love his attitude, Zarbek. He wants to be aggressive. He wants to look good, and he believes in himself. And more importantly, he's got the skills. There's that right hand coming back from Gonzalez. Just a tiny little reminder. And he has got, in his 10 wins, he's got 7 knockouts.
It's good from Zabek though. For most of this round, he's just been like a rabbit in the headlights here, Gonzalez. He's in the worst possible position. He's in a no man's land. He can't land with anything. He's not far enough away to stop Zabek from jumping in with shots, which you see there with that left hand.
Really impressive start that by Zabek. Well, an excellent first round that was from Sultan Zarbek, and it's pretty much what we've come to expect from him. He's aggressive without being too gung-ho.
Just a little clip there from Gonzalez, but I think Zabek saw it in enough time to, again, using those feet in and out, and he does that quite well. He commits himself, he takes that big step in with the front foot. He always leaves that back foot dragging a bit so he can just step back out into safe range.
Well, you can see there's the translator there in the corner as well. That's SK Setarkosi. We'll probably get a word with SK when we speak to Zarbek after this one. And Angel Fernandez, I should say, is a trainer. Angel's got a real buzz around that Raptors gym right now. Good fighters, up-and-coming fighters. Of course, notice Ashbinov, fellow Kazakhs in there as well. Isaac Chamberlain. Sandy Ryan's been down there doing work as well. Barry, talented amateur.
Oh yeah, really good. And again, success breeds success. Being around quality fighters, as much as a good trainer is so important, being around quality fighters is sometimes more. You just learn so much just by being in their company.
Nathaniel Wood, who made such an impression on that UFC London show a couple of months ago, bantamweight, he's down there putting in the work as well. So it really is a gym that's buzzing right now, that in Sutton, just in the southeast of London.
He's got to try something here, Gonzalez, whether he comes out fighting, he's fighting with single shots, and Zabek's, he's just loading up a little bit tense, Gonzalez, so Zabek can see it quite comfortably. That's a lovely shot. Well, the footwork was tremendous there.
And he's able to create the space for those sharp counters, Zarbek. You can see the talent and the timing.
Well, Gonzalez, he just stood there, that's why. He's not moving around the ring, giving it no... Making Zabek could chase him, just stood there waiting for the attacks to come, look at the counter with single shots, but he got to counter back with 3s and 4s.
Standing off is not going to get it done for Gonzalez, I think that's fair to say.
Well, you're the shorter fighter, use it, get as low as you can, get nice and low. Make Zabek look, reach for the target, make him punch down a little bit. Keep rolling ahead, moving forward, plenty of feints to the front foot, and try and draw something off Zabek so you can make him miss and make him pay for a change.
But it's probably all because of some of those sharp shots. He must have felt the power throughout the first round of Zarbek, and it's just made him reluctant to commit. But he's got a bull tattooed on his back, on his shoulder, on the right-hand side of his body. And he needs a little bit of El Toro here, doesn't he?
Oh, it's lovely there from Zarbek. Nice little screw shot that started off just through the gap, just changing the angle of attack.
Yes, he did beat Aritz Parda a couple of years ago. That's in July 2017. He stopped him. That's Parda who stopped Ibn Lariaga. And Lariaga went 8 rounds with Michael Conlon last year. So it's sort of tangible form lines that suggest that he could have been a bit of a handful tonight and a step up, but it's not transposing that way.
No, it's not, and I think because he started off the right way, Zarbek, he used that front foot to put him under pressure, didn't allow him any forward momentum to get a little bit of confidence in his work, put him in his place early, and now he's allowed himself there because of that to move around a little bit and set some traps.
Oh, that class there, you saw the uppercut and then he spun under the counter and away. Terrific round again. There's Angel Fernandez on the right, as Zarbek nonchalantly takes his time getting to his stool. and takes the rest in between rounds. He's in control here.
Yes, but look at that, it's just the shot placement's really well, the foot, and also he's getting his foot, that front foot in the right position first, just on the outside of the left foot there to Gonzalez. Then he can throw that uppercut through the middle, then the right hook over the top is a clear shot for him. It's clever work, he's picking his shots really well, taking his time. He hadn't gone into second gear yet, Zabek, but this is again the little criticism we have of him, and he's been perfect so far tonight, is can he start going through the gears now he's on top?
Yeah, and what can be more his body? Bam, bam.
Into the third round, Angel Fernandez really excited about this young man, Sultan Zarbek, who pulled the gloves on as a 2-year-old back in Kazakhstan, started very, very early, and here he is 21 years later, inspired by both Mike Tyson internationally and of course closer to home, the man in the same city, Babet Shumenov, who went on to win world titles. So was it light heavy and cruiserweight?
That's right, yes.
Terrific career that he had.
Oh, good shot again there from Zarbek, nice left hand right on the pipe there. And again, it's all to do with when he takes that front foot first.
And you have to feel, Barry, given the amateur success in Kazakhstan, a conveyor belt of gold medals at each of the last 5 Olympic Games, you have to feel that you know, Gennady Golovkin is just maybe the latest or the next in a sequence, and the next generations are going to come through soon.
Well, we've seen it just in Europe, and especially Eastern Europe in general. Look at the light heavyweight division. Just Russia and Ukraine, you know, hold all the marbles there. So you know, it's a case of just because they're not winning medals in major competitions, a bit like Cuba. You got some quality fighters there who couldn't get through the national championships, but they probably would have won gold medals if they could have got the Olympics. It's just the depth thing, the quality and depth is so dense, and it's things the same here, especially for Kazakhstan. You've got some fighters here who couldn't even get to major competitions. If they were from another country, they probably would have been medaling.
Well, we're going to be showing you live on ESPN Plus and on iFull TV in the UK. We're going to be showing you that big bill from Kazakhstan, from the Baris Arena in Nur Sultan. That's on the 6th of July. We're going to be bringing you the action, and this young man is going to be part of that bill, and so is the next boxer coming up, Zankosh Turarov. It could be quite exciting. Is he starting to turn the screw now?
Again, it's all that the real heavy shots in that left uppercut there from Zarbek. He's starting to hold his feet now.
And he's putting the combinations together as well. He's starting to put a little bit more weight into the shots. Oh, it's another cracker.
Takes it well though there, Gonzalez, to his credit.
Another left hand gets through, and another one.
Trying to fight back here, Gonzalez. Got to give him his credit for that, but he's walking up the heavy shots.
Got to be careful, Zarbek. His hands are very, very low. He's relying on his own timing, feet and upper body movement to get out of the returns. But it does look like just maybe in this third round that Zarbek's starting to break Gonzalez down.
Again, he throws out a looping left hand and he's so effective with it, but straight after that, rather than another looping left, he needs a straight left hand, straight after it. Oh, I think he hurt Gonzalez with the body shot there.
10 seconds.
Credit to Gonzalez, because he took plenty in that round, and he can afford a smile as he trudges back to his corner after a difficult 3 minutes. Gonzalez deserving his rest then after what was pretty much 3 minutes of intense and mounting increasing pressure.
Well, it was hard from the first round, but that third round especially was a real Tyrone there from Gonzalez, battle from pillar to post. For literally the whole 3 minutes, and I think if he wasn't firing back there, you know, he didn't land that last little exchange. I think the referee might have thought, no, I might step in here, the kid's getting a hide and he's not throwing anything back, and it looks a massively uphill task here for Gonzalez. And you think unless he rushes the work as Zarbek, I can't see how he can even get close to making a dent.
What we saw in that round was exactly what Barry Jones was asking for. The ability to turn the screw, to go through the gears. That's exactly what he did. Round 4, approaching halfway, scheduled for 8. This one in the super featherweight division. Sultan Zarbek actually weighed 132.5 pounds, but I was speaking to Angel Fernandez, Angel, yesterday, and he was telling me that he walks around just above 60 kilograms, and he'll have no bother at all making super feather when it comes to meaningful fights or indeed title fights. But it's a big stage of his career, Barry. You know, it's a big thing turning up his attentions. He lives in London, you know, he's away from his family and friends. He's dedicating himself to the sport. He goes home maybe for a couple of weeks in between every now and then when he gets the chance, but he's pretty much living in the suburbs of London, dedicating himself solely to boxing.
And it shows a commitment that a lot of people are not willing to take, of course, but I think that's his only option, isn't it, to do that. He wants to make some money, and it makes him a true professional, in the sense that it's a professional sport where most people are part-time, and he's a true professional because he's living, breathing boxing 24/7. He's looking good here, though. He really has. I think he went through the gears in that third round, and again, it's just slowly working his way into the round here. But picking his shots, he hasn't taken a shot all night. Footwork's been good from him, spinning around the target. Gonzalez can't find him.
Straight left, piercing through the guard. He's kind of teasing with that right hook. Looks like he's setting him up. He's prizing for openings, Zarbek. Is there a big shot just around the corner?
You felt, and maybe still, that a sustained attack that, like he had at the end of the previous round, might be enough for the referee to step in here, but just to save Gonzalez for another day. But I think he wants to show real knockout. I think Zarbek, for me, he doesn't want the referee to step in. He wants to put him on his backside by the looks of it. So he's looking for the opening, he's looking for that perfect shot. We just got to be careful he doesn't, just let Gonzalez recover, find his feet a little bit.
Well, this is about the first time that Gonzalez has come anywhere close to getting on the front foot, and then lo and behold, he's put back on his heels and in his place by a strong left hand of Zarbek. A little bit more sort of matador control in this round after what was a real intense previous third round.
So he can't miss it with that. When he throws that looping like, oh, and again with the uppercut. Takes one back there though from Gonzalez. That's good there from little Gonzalez. Needs to try and follow it up with another 2 or 3 shots.
Not quite the fireworks of the third round, but some clinical punching from Zarbek in the fourth.
One, 2 punches is not going to be enough. Yeah? We have to start putting some combinations together.
I think that's exactly the right sort of advice there as well. I'm not sure he took a round off, but after the head of steam and pressure he built up in the previous round, it was just more careful and thoughtful, and that's exactly what Fernandez was saying there. Combinations, 1 or 2 punches are not going to do it, he said. Let's see if Zarbek can pick up on that thread.
And that'll bode well when he steps up in levels, just not taking any silly risks and working your way into a round. But I think when you got a guy on the hook, which he clearly had, Gonzalez, I think, and especially when nothing's coming back of any note really, then I think he should have gone through the gears. And again, that's that controlled mindset they had to have in the amateurs, especially when they're back in computer scoring, where every shot scores a point. But in the pro game, you've got to be slightly a little bit gung-ho at times.
Well, I think after that third round, because he really had sort of made a statement, and he'd asked questions, and I think he must have put doubt or fear in the mind of Gonzalez, and he could have built on that. What we should say, as he gets through with some terrific body punches already, it looks like he's listening to his coach in between rounds, but he is up to 8 rounds tonight for the first time as well. He's been scheduled for 6, went 5 last time, 6 the time before. He is up to 8 rounds for the first time tonight.
Lovely bit of lateral movement there from Zarbek as well, just making Gonzalez miss quite easily. Just a little turn of the head, just a lean back of the body. Oh, he's boxed well, hasn't he? He's nice and smooth, and again, just everything at his own pace.
Listen, the better you are, the more the critique, and the smaller the margins, it seems. Terrific, wasn't it? Oh, he's cut him. That was that right hook, I think, that started all off, and it's another thunderous left hand. Gonzalez cut on the left eye.
And that left hand right down the centre of the guard. I think that shot really stunned there.
Oh, he's starting to put some weight into these shots. Another terrific body shot. He might just be going after him here. There's a minute to go in this round.
Can't let him off the hook now. Got to keep weighing in those shots now. Zarbek.
Another right hook. That may be the punch that caused the damage.
He's looking for the perfect punches, Zarbek, but sometimes throwing shots, engineers space, opens gaps for you. Just let your hands go. You're in full control here.
Oh, so another terrific left hand. You fancy a sort of accumulation, might just force the referee to have a look.
I really think, I said earlier, I think a sustained attack might force the referee to step in, I really do.
10 seconds.
Trying to edge forward here, Gonzalez, but see, they're all doing that Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah, he's got a lot to answer for, Billy Joe. And fellow southpaw Zarbek on top. There's the cut. You see, it is at least streaming down the side of the face. I'm not entirely sure that's going to get it done. He hardly dabbed the blood away before putting the Vaseline in. I don't think that's going to stop the flow of the blood out of that cut, but thankfully it's going around the side of his face.
But again, picking his shots superbly here, Zarbek. And again, but that little movement of the front foot and then just spinning a little bit, just a quarter turn around the target, as you see there, allows him the opening and the gap and the clear space there for the follow-up attack.
Yeah, I thought it might have been the right hook, but actually looking back on the replay, it might have been the left hand when it went through, actually opened the eye. Into the 6th round for Sultan Zarbek, the man from Shymkent, having his 8th pro fight tonight. And there's so much to like about the way he performs. So much quality and class. I think as ever you have to cut your cloth according to who's in front of you, and there is just the feeling from Barry and ringside, no knockdown, says the referee. Just the feeling though that he could put his foot down on the accelerator here, Zarbek.
Almost, of course he could. Listen, you don't want to take any silly risks and get caught with something stupid, because I think Gonzalez is still firing back now and again. But it's been too easy for Zarbek, and I think that's where, it looked like he got caught there, but he leaned back to the ropes, and the rope caught the back of his neck.
Yeah, everything and nothing. There was a few oohs and ahs. Just wondered if there was the smell of a little drama. Tell you what, we should have plenty of toe-to-toe action coming up, as well as Craig Evans against Stephen Ormond, rematch of their Belfast 2017 encounter that went 10 rounds and went Evans' way. He was defending his WBO European belt for the first time tonight, and guess what, tonight, having won it back, he's defending it for the first time in a rematch with Ormond. That should be a live wire. And then our top of the bill, European title fight for Jay Harris, who's had to bide his time, and now opportunity knocks.
Just stand a little bit closer to the target now, Zarbek. So encouraging Gonzalez to throw.
Slightly clubbed and pushed him with that right hand. But I tell you what, he's starting to let that left hand go with some sort of intent.
I just think he could throw with 3. When he throws out that loop, when he throws that right hook and then the left uppercut, he can come back with another shot. Or when he does in reverse, the uppercut and the right hook, then he can come back with a straight left hand on the guard. showing to be very durable here, Gonzalez. Taking some heavy shots, and maybe they just lack a little bit of snap, maybe to put him to sleep. But they're heavy shots, and everything's like punching through the target here. Zabek.
10 seconds.
He can hardly miss with the left hand. To be honest, his accuracy, percentage-wise, must be pretty high. I don't think he's hardly missed with anything tonight, Zabek. Still, he can't get rid of his man. Well, considering he's going to go into the 7th round for the first time tonight, it doesn't look like Zabek's breathing at all. He's been able to do everything at his own pace.
There you see there, just moving back there, everything was fine. He just caught his neck on the back ropes. I think the crowd went a little bit of a ooh because from behind it he got caught. But he's been from the first round to the latest round, he's been in total control, making Gonzalez miss with these. You see there doing that little Billy Joe Saunders thing from Canada a couple of years ago. He's leaving the move.
Of course, there used to just be 3 ropes in the ring until the Benny Parrett, Emil Griffith fight, and then thereafter 4 ropes. As we head into the 7th round, Gonzalez in the tasseled shorts, the gold and black of Sultan Zabek, who has won every second of every round so far. He's boxed clean, and in the 3rd round it looked like he was building up towards perhaps stopping Gonzalez. Did he let him off the hook? Do we credit Gonzalez for his toughness?
I think he let him off the hook. I think if you just jumped on him in the next round, I think the referee would be forced to pull in there. But I think he was looking for that one-punch knockout. I think he was looking for Gonzalez to literally offer his chin on a plate. It didn't quite happen, but he's been battering Gonzalez. I think a man of lesser resolve would have willed to by now. But what other fighters are good from Zabek there? Nice little faster combination. But what other prospects will we seeing? People like Archie Sharp who stopped Gonzalez. They'd be thinking, you know, he's a little bit one pace possibly. You know, his shots look heavy, but there's nothing crisp enough to really, you know, have Gonzalez in any real serious trouble. So does he carry the power that maybe it's looking like?
Yeah, and what I always think with the young prospects early on in the career is, what's their style? What is their natural style? Are they still learning what suits them best? Is he an aggressive counterpuncher? What's his play? Oh, what a shot!
Well, I think so, that's because he's allowed to come forward. I think he's probably prefers just to move a little bit and be in and out a little bit more.
Terrific! Look at that. 2 punches off, and then he was still mindful of defence, ducking under any potential counter-attack as the blood just trickles out of that cut, which is a little wider than it was for Gonzalez.
Well, what's been good from Zabek tonight is the movement around the target. When he's close to Gonzalez, the foot placement and the way he's spinning around the target, just looking for the different angle of attack and not allowing Gonzalez to throw back. I think that's been good.
Although his hands are low, Zabek, tell you one thing, Barry, you'll see it whenever he attacks. He is at least mindful of what's coming back. You can see it in his movement as he gets through with a couple of successive uppercuts.
Almost disrespectful, that 3 uppercuts on the spin.
He's loading up. He is trying to knock him out, Zabek. He's hardly taken a punch in return.
Again, you're looking for things. That's the thing. He's so dominant that you're looking for things that he should do. Oh, it's beautiful. Little movement of the shoulders there just to disguise that little uppercut.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, that's what he should have been doing earlier on. This, rallying the punches off.
Oh, he's starting to get it through again, perhaps for the first time significantly since the 3rd. And again, Zabek takes his time before he takes to the stool. There's that body shot. That was wicked. And there were a couple of flurries towards the end of the round.
There you go. There's that 3 uppercuts with the same hand. That's a hard combination to pull off. Gonzalez has been made for him, and you're looking for things because he is so dominant. But you got to say, for a 23-year-old and only what, his 7th fight, it's not a bad display of shot selection, foot placement, all the things that you want for a young pro to move forward. He's ticking those boxes. I just think, as he showed there in the last little combination, he can go through the gears, and he can do it. He needs to do it more often.
8th and final round. Another box ticked. Going into the 8th round for the first time in his professional career, and here he is, winning everything, looking good. There have just been several moments, haven't there, little punctuations during this fight, particularly the third end of the previous round, where you think that just maybe there's the sniff of a stoppage. Little wins there from Gonzalez.
Oh, it's lovely from Zabek there. Not stepping back so much now, is he? He's stamping his feet into the canvas now.
Holding his ground, and he's clubbing him round the ring. Gonzalez really is having to dig in here.
Oh, it's lovely there. That's straight left hand. That's what we wanted to see.
Well, that's been a minute of non-stop punching. Clips him with the right hand, blood coming from the nose as well as the eye now from Gonzalez. Bust up a little bit in this final round.
What's good also was that he's not loading up, everything's nice and relaxed. Not sure if you hurt his little left hand there.
You just shake it. Oh, another body shot. There's blood all over the face of Gonzalez. I think he's cut over the left eye now as well. And that's testament to the accuracy.
Streaming out of the right eye.
Yeah, he's cut on the other eye now, yeah. Referee having a good look, still a minute to go. Gonzalez really toughing it out. And I think with Zarbek, he's having it all his own way, but he's showing I know he's having the pace and the rhythm of the fight, he's dictating everything, but he's shown that he can do these rounds no bother at all. And you fancy he will break people down in longer distance fights.
Yeah, I think when people are being more ambitious as well, it gives you more gaps and opportunities to land. And he's shown he's dictated the pace, so you can cruise when you're dictating the pace, but you still have to put yourself in the position to do that, and you do that using the footwork, the pressure with the feet, or moving out of target and coming back.
Oh, ref stopped it. Yeah, he just wobbled a bit, Gonzalez. He just wobbled it. The ref is mentioning the cuts. Gonzalez telling him he could have continued. And finally, he gets his man out of there. Big smile shared there between Sultan Zarbek and Angel Fernandez. And he was pretty much all out throughout that final round.
Yeah, he was. And I can understand why Gonzalez is a bit upset, because he'd taken a hiding, but he was taking it, and he didn't look like he was ever going to go down, to be fair. But I think the referee's saying the cut is too bad. He sort of bypassed the doctor's advice and said that's enough for me. And you can half understand that also, to be honest. It looks like a soft stoppage because he's trying to fire back, but there's a massive cut on his eye. The referee was looking at it constantly. I think it must have got worse. And as we said, the blood was streaming out, and rather than go to the doctor, he just gone, the doctor's going to stop it. That's just enough.
We're just looking at the other corner where the referee's actually over there, just explaining to both Gonzalez and his corner man why he stopped the fight. Gonzalez, there you go. He's a tough dude, isn't he? Hey, you don't have to understand Spanish, English, or Kazakh to not know what his reaction is. But we're going to get confirmation of the stoppage now, as they're still perturbed about it. Let's get news on that with Terry.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Chris Jones called a stop to the action at 2 minutes and 44 seconds of round number 8, declaring your winner. He still remains undefeated, Sultan Zombie!
And they share a moment, the pair of them, at the end of it, as ever.
Gonzalez.
Sportsmanship of the highest order in the noble game. And Gonzalez will go and get tended to. We'll be grabbing a word with Sultan in due course, Barry, but give us a marks out of 10 as we look back on some of the highlights.
Well, I thought again. I think he didn't do nothing wrong. He was punch perfect in many ways. You see there, just picking his shots quite easily, moving around the target. Look at that big heavy shot without ever loading up. Again, shot selection. As I said, shot selection was perfect. The foot placement was really good. Went through the gears, showed that he can go through the gears when he wants to. Could have done it maybe a bit more frequently for my liking, but apart from that, I think it was a standout performance from Zabek. He's 7-0 now with 5 knockouts, 23 years of age, and for me, again, he gets the stoppage in the last round. You can't complain much about that, and he moves on to big and better things. And more importantly, he's over with Alex Steedman, and we'll get away with Sultan Zabek right now.